Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Shade TV. My name is Marissa Hill, and today we are going to be taking a look at a new silhouette that we've never done on the channel before. These are the Nike Mac Attacks, and this is in the light smoke gray colorway. Let's take a quick sneak peek. Welcome back, everyone, to another unboxing and review. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome in. Today, we're going to be discussing a sneaker that is basically being brought back to life from the archives. This initially released back in 1984. We'll get more into the details and the overview of this silhouette, but then after that, we'll talk about size and fit on these, followed by how I styled this really simple color blocking sneaker color scheme, and then we'll conclude with how well, surprisingly, these are doing on the resale market in certain sizes. Let's jump right into it. So I know a lot of you have probably already seen a lot of different images on the campaign for these. And that being said, it is because they decided to go with Travis Scott as well as John McEnroe. So for those of you who are hardcore tennis fans from back in the 80s, McEnroe was an intense player, to say the least. I just remember how crazy people would talk about him during matches where he would literally go up to the refs and go at them. And typically, he was usually right when he would go up to them and say certain things.
Clearly in. How can you possibly call that out? How many you can miss? That he's walking over, everyone knows it's in this whole stadium, and you call it out? Explain that to me, will you?
The linesman called a fault because the ball was on this side of the court.
The chalk came on, it doesn't matter.
No, the very fact that there is a spread of chalk, as you can see, Mr. McEnroe.
Loved how fire he was as far as it goes when it comes to being a tennis player. Definitely somebody exciting to watch. So I love that they've decided to retro one of his signature sneakers. Again, this is something that initially released back in the 80s, and back then, most of us can probably count how many different bright color blocking options there were. Very little, since most were only allowed to wear white sneakers. So really excited to see this retroed in this colorway. As far as the material goes, the front is in a smooth leather, which is in a light heather gray. And then we've got some meshing in black. Then we've got gray laces and a bit of an aged look here. If you can see underneath the eyelets, they've kind of kept it a little bit exposed with this aged color scheme. And then my favorite part, honestly, is the light, or I guess not light, but the subtle part of the sneaker here on top of the tongue, which is in this checkered print, gives it more of a retro feel. Really, I feel like takes me back to the 80s era. So I love that they kept the color scheme of this pretty simple, not so bold and outlandish. With the colorway, they decided to just go with red and royal blue, and they actually match the box perfectly to that tongue itself as well. And then we just have a simple white nylon tongue that's outlined in a heather gray tone. Let's take a look at those details, then move along to the side paneling. side paneling goes, we've got pretty much more of that similar tone of gray on the medial side. And then as we work our way over to the swoosh mark, which is in a smooth black material, we've got underneath that a nice metallic silver meshing, which I think hits the light very nicely and gives it a nice sheen. Wrapping around the back, we've got Nike in that light heather gray tone on top of the smooth black leather collar. And then on the other lateral side of the sneaker, we've got the same color blocking combination as the medial. The interior is in a nice soft light gray tone, as well as the collar. And then when we work our way to the bottom of the sneaker, we've got just a simple white midsole and then a heather gray outsole. All right, let's take a look at those last and final details. All right, so as far as size and fit goes, again, this is my first time actually wearing this silhouette. I think that Nike is really having a moment with bringing these amazing 80s revival silhouettes back into the 2023 year. We've seen it with the Terminator, which I've done on the channel. Also, the Airship is another sneaker silhouette that I haven't unboxed yet, but I hope to in the future. But I do love that they're really digging deep, going back into the archives and bringing back these amazing silhouettes to kind of spice up the game and just really intermix different sneakers that we haven't seen for decades. As far as the size range goes for this though, I do feel like these run very small. I went true to size on this and they're so snug. I definitely next time around will be ordering at least half a size up. And I'm somebody with narrow, high arch feet. So if you by chance have flatter, wider feet, you're definitely gonna have to at least go minimum half a size up to a full size probably on this one. They do run a bit on the narrow side as well. All right, so now let's jump into styling. So as far as styling goes, very simplistic color blocking here. We've got just, you know, subtle hits of color accents, which I feel like just, again, doesn't take away from the sneaker itself. It's predominantly black and gray. So for the first look, I decided to go all black with a black bodysuit and some wide with black pants. Definitely all black, anything is gonna go amazing with these. For the second look, I decided to wear a black blazer and intermixed a gray dress underneath to kind of just complement the color blocking tones of the sneaker itself. And then for the last and final look, I wore a black off the shoulder ribbed cropped top. And then I wore just some nice light denim pants. talk about how these are doing on the resale market. So again, Travis Scott was brought on board to be a part of the campaign with John McEnroe. I do wonder though, if they didn't actually end up going with Travis Scott, would there be much resale on these? I guess we won't know. But as far as the retail for these retail at $120. They're currently going a little bit below that retail price point, specifically for smaller sizes, but larger sizes, surprisingly enough, are actually reselling for around $300. All right, everyone, that is it for this unboxing and review. If you joined us for the first time, thank you so much. My name is Marissa Hill. This is Shea TV. We will catch you on next episode.